Okay, no, YouTube didn't cause this. Yes, I do believe that we have tried everything and we involved other people and professionals. Yes, I am very sad about it. And if you are shocked or surprised about this, I would expect you to be, because I worked very hard to make sure that no one knew this was going on behind the scenes. But what we did share together wasn't fake. I actually really loved the side of Tom that would come out when we would video together. That wasn't fake at all. It just wasn't the full story. Okay, so I want to get that out there quick in case you don't watch the full video. But now I can, well, tell you where I am, tell you how we got here, and what's next. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom. If we haven't met before, I used to always say I'm married to Tom and we have 4 kids. It started out when I started YouTube 5 years ago. We had 4 kids, ages 4 through 8. Now we have 4 kids, ages 10 through almost 15, and they were a huge consideration in this. So I'll kind of just go through and answer some of the questions that are probably on your mind, including what about the kids? And if you just got served this video by YouTube because they like to serve up spicy videos, normally I talk about simple living and family minimalism. We've been so fortunate to share our lives on YouTube over the last 5 years. And I never in a million gazillion years thought that I would be making a video like this, but I'm not gonna cry in it. And speaking of minimalism, I've been getting to come to this retreat center where they have little prayer cabins that you can go to just to check out from the world. And it has been awesome and kind of a safe haven. And so I'm so grateful for that. And I've gotten to be here for a few days, and especially on days when I don't have the kids, it's kind of nice to get away. So let's just kind of start at the beginning. Was this something that has been building? Was there one thing that happened? I've sometimes mentioned it a little bit, but Tom and I were married for 16 years, and it was pretty tough from the beginning. And we've been in counseling on and off. You know, in the beginning, I really tried to hide it because I just thought that was the respectful thing to do. I'll talk a little bit more about like the faith side of things more towards the end of the video, but I thought that was being respectful of him and his process that he was in. And so over the last 15, 16 years, I can honestly say that we have tried everything really out there. We've been in counseling on and off. We've done individual counseling. We've done couples counseling. We've involved pastors, elders, friends. So for a while, I kept it pretty hidden. I didn't let people know what was going on until it got to a point where I'm like, this isn't working. So I guess we should try something else. But even here, I kept it pretty hidden. There's a quote by Brene Brown, and she says something to the effect of, you know, to share your story from scars, not from open wounds. And so I truly, honestly believed that if we would just keep trying and finding the right therapist or the right whatever it was going to take, that the video I would actually be making would be me saying like, what a cool story we have of how our relationship was restored and redeemed. And so honestly, until February of this year, I was like, we've got this. We are just one, like EMDR or something else away from a breakthrough, and it is going to be so good, and we are going to encourage so many people, and how exciting that will be. And that's obviously not how it ended, and that's hard, and it makes me very sad. So it sucks a lot. Let's see. There have been questions like, did YouTube put stress on the relationship? You know, being in the spotlight. My channel has grown so quickly, and I am so grateful for that. And there have been times where it was really stressful and I put in a ton of hours that maybe threw life out of balance, but mostly YouTube has made our life so much better. It was 5 years ago that Tom got to leave his job because what we were doing on YouTube was working so well. And that was awesome. I actually thought that was gonna be the time for a real breakthrough because he was working in a very stressful job. He was driving over an hour and a half on the way home. And it was so stressful. And so I really thought like, hey, if he can come home, and we had always had dreams of doing rental properties, and he wasn't, I didn't think him coming home to be like a stay-at-home dad would be the best idea, because he's just like, he's so skilled and good at things. And so we were able to start acquiring these rental properties and him working on them and fixing up. And so YouTube like allowed us to achieve so many of our dreams earlier than we had ever thought with rental properties and traveling and getting to camp with the kids and all of that. And it also gave us the means to explore different, kinds of therapies and whatnot to try and have more success in a relationship. And so I can only speak for myself, but I don't think in any way YouTube caused this. If anything, I feel like it made our life better and easier in a lot of ways and less stressful. Okay, next question, what about the kids? What's hard was that the kids were actually kind of part of the wake-up call for me, and just seeing the impact it was starting to have on them, I really just got to the point of, we can't keep going like this anymore. And so the kids have been my number one priority through this. Like, if you have kids, it's like, whatever, I can do anything, I can endure through anything, right? But when it starts to impact them, that's when it gets real. And so it has been a huge consideration. I'm so grateful. They're well supported, I'm well supported, we're all well supported. And so I think they're doing as good as they can be given everything. It's been an adjustment for sure. This isn't easy. This is the worst ever. This is the worst. But also continuing to go how we were didn't fix things either. And so it sucks. But I am just trying to spend time with them, focus on them. And I am really grateful for those around us who have been helping navigate this season too. Did you try separation? Yes. I'm telling you, I'm curious if you can throw something at me that we haven't tried. Yeah, we did. We actually very prolonged. So yes, more than 1 year of it. So many months, different variations on it. And it was very important to me that we exhaust everything that we could. And then there's the house. And I told Tom right away, I'm like, you can have the house. I couldn't imagine keeping up our property on my own. And I know what you're thinking, but Dawn, that's your dream house, right? Dreams change, dreams evolve, dreams can take different shapes and forms. It would be so much for me to keep up on my own. And, my parents are close by. And so I've been staying with my parents. They have been the greatest ever. Even before I left to come up here, my mom's like, is everything okay? Like, are we doing everything okay? Like, do you just have to get away from us? And I'm like, no, Mom. like they have been the absolute coolest. And I don't know, I was telling my therapist the other day, I'm like, it should be just a basic human right that everyone has awesome parents. Like, at least someone in their corner that no matter whatever you are going through, they're like, yes, come home. We got it covered. You don't have to cook, you don't have to clean, you don't have to think about anything. Like, I've taken over with like decluttering for my mentorship group to still make videos, and they have been so good about it and just so helpful. My dad tells me on a regular basis, like, hey, you don't have to rush out. Like, we love having you and the kids here. And so I am just so incredibly grateful for that. Another question that comes up is like, well, isn't marriage supposed to be hard? And that's what I thought, right? I so distinctly remember sitting down with a couple that was mentoring us before we got married and them looking at us and saying, marriage is a sanctification process. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So I did expect for it to be difficult and hard and, but there is sometimes a point where you minimize a little too much of your own needs, right? I'm all about minimalism and simplifying and decluttering, but there gets to a point where you just start to feel crazy, and you also kind of start to feel stupid because you feel like, hey, I am trying to be so cool and patient and forgiving, but I feel like that kindness is being taken advantage of, and that sucks. And so, no, I didn't think like, oh, this should be so easy or there shouldn't be bumps in the road. No, I'm like, bring it on. Let's go. We got this. And that's probably where I can kind of, transition to the faith side of it. So Tom and I have shared about our Christian faith from time to time. You've seen my sister's channel. She's a pastor, right? And many well-meaning people have, brought up the Bible verse that is probably going through your mind. And there's so much to that. I'm not gonna debate scripture or get into that here. That would be a fool's errand, right? But I will assure you that it is something that I have very much looked into and considered and is very important to me. And I still love marriage and the institution of marriage and everything about it. There are things we can persevere through in marriage, and there are things that we can't. And that's a different line for each of us, and we have to discern that for ourselves. And so if you have been in a confusing marriage at all, if you've ever wondered, I just remember so often thinking like, where's the line, right? Where is the line? When is it okay to say this is too much and I can't do this anymore? And I did turn the comments off because I don't want theological debates in the comments. And I also don't want those of you who are just my closest friends on here feeling like you need to go to battle for me in the comments either, because I know that you will continue to watch and support, and you have my back, and I'm so grateful for that. I have been so well supported here, so encouraged, and there are days where I literally tell Diana, my twin sister, I'm like, I don't know how I got here or how I got to be so incredibly fortunate to be surrounded by so many kind people and encouraging. And so please know, I am so grateful for you. I guess that leads to another question. What's next? And I absolutely plan to continue. Over the summer, I really stepped back a lot and really did just like the bare minimum that I needed to keep things moving forward. And it was really good. And it helped me kind of decide like, hey, what's most important moving forward? What's not? YouTube is like so important to me. So I will continue to post videos every Tuesday. Our mentorship group, we're doing some really cool changes in there and adding another tier for household management. And that has still continued even through all of this to been a priority for me as well, because I love getting to help you more personally and get to be more involved in your decluttering and coach you more and help you and encourage you. So really much shouldn't change except the background might a little bit. So you'll see me doing more at my parents' house, and my mom has been so good about that, and I'm just so grateful. She's done like so much awesome decluttering on her own. I'm like, stop, hold on, I want to video that, right? But otherwise, I'm really glad and excited about continuing this work, because man, it makes such a difference. I really thought in the beginning that I was the only one that couldn't keep it together, right? And now that I realize like, oh no, like so many of us are drowning in clutter, it's, we just have to stick together, right? And it's just my joy to continue to get to share about that. And then the last question, if you've hung around this long, is how am I? I'm really sad. I'm really sad about this. And, if you know me, I'm like so optimistic, always, almost to a fault. And it just never occurred to me. I really thought like, if you have God and a praying wife, like what can you conquer? Like watch out, clear the way, right? Like you're toast. Like you don't stand a chance. Like you can't get away from that, right? And so it has been a little disillusioning to get here. So I'm gonna lay low for a little bit, keep hanging out with the kids, spending time with them, and come up here as I'm able to, and just take a little time and take it easy. And so I think that's probably the best thing, and that's about all I can do right now. So thank you again. I truly am so grateful. I was dreading making this video, but not because I do believe that you will be gracious to me, but because I hate the idea of catching you off guard. And I know how well loved Tom is, and he is. And there's just so many good things about him. There's so many good things. So I am sorry just to spring this on you, but also I do believe that you'll be understanding too. And I'm so grateful for that. All right. Well, if there's any update or follow-up videos, I'll put a link to those in the description as well. But I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you again soon. Oh, and if you actually want help with decluttering your house, we have like over 800 videos about that too. So that's normally what I'm talking about. And I would love to spend more time with you helping you declutter your home too.